too. So I'm
Yep.
just trying to. Oh no, it's live now. It's live.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just had to invite you from the other room, and we're good to go.
Okay.
So, how are you?
It's complicated. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time and doing this.
Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure. So, well, hey, I don't want to keep you. I'm just excited that you're here today and that you are decided to join us and talk a little bit about your business and talk about a little bit about what makes you tick. And I'm really excited to hear more about you, your journey, everything you've learned about yoga, some great stories about your background, and we want to share that for everybody in the Balance family. So maybe I'll just get kicked off here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and a little bit about your background.
Sure. So, so I don't know if you can guess or not, but I'm Persian. In terms of like where I'm coming from. I was born in Iran, and my dad was an athlete, and he was an athlete. He was a karate champion. So he took me to karate since I was 4, I can say, like when I was very young, very small actually. And he, because of that, so I really developed a kind of a, strong physical foundation. And I have been, I got my black belt when I was 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but my journey didn't finish there. Interestingly, although I had a, strong physical, foundation, around like I think around age of 13 or 14, which was close to adolescence, I kind of, entering into my teenage years, I developed some sort of a chronic pain related to my, digestive system. And, I went to so many, specialists, and they were like, it doesn't seem to be physical. It seems to be more mental and emotional, the root cause of the issue. And that was the whole reason that I was kind of open to other solutions in my life. And I was like constantly seeking, remedy to be able to, find a solution or heal this problem.
Sure.
And that really made me open to, bringing other practices like yoga into my life. And I was introduced to a school. It's called Pranic Healing School, and they have a school in Southern California as well. In 2004, and through pranic healing, I got introduced to different types of meditations, breathing techniques, a lot of cleansing, purification, techniques, and we are talking a lot about kind of character building, because being able to forgive, let go, purify the character. That's what we're talking, and really.
I think that's something we all could definitely use. I could almost use that daily. So, and I'm sure that's probably you teach your classes, or you're with your students probably pretty regularly, at least probably maybe even daily. So when you're talking a little bit about your journey, and so did that migrate you into yoga a little bit, or?
Exactly. So that's where what happened that from pranic healing, I then right away I went into Iyengar yoga. I mean, it's a type of yoga, so Iyengar school of yoga, and again, learning a little bit about this style. And when I was in US, eventually I moved to United States, and I entered into vinyasa classes, vinyasa flow classes, and that was where I really fell in love with yoga, because I felt like, okay, this is physical at the same time. It had all the things that I wanted. Coming from karate background, I enjoyed always doing physical activities. So vinyasa was kind of like very, thriving. I felt like it's flowy, it's like gentle at the same time. It has some hard poses. So I loved all parts of it. And I think I started it's now more than a decade that I have been doing like religiously vinyasa flow for like at least 4 to 5 times a week. And I was working full time. That was like, at the same time that I was working full time, I was like jumping into the studio right after work, like at least 4 to 5 times a week. And I started really seeing the changes in my, the chronic pain that I explained to you a little bit earlier. I felt like things are moving, and, and it's not only about the physical, but again, my mental obstacles, the the parts which we get stuck, the parts that you know, I kind of go into that freeze or flight mode, you know. And for me, like, movement is the remedy. It's just like, don't get freeze, like, just go on, you know, move on, you know. And you know, and that's what I needed. Exactly.
That absolutely makes sense to me. I go to the gym just about every day, or I do some sort of activity every day. The yoga is something I'm getting used to, but you know, your journey is amazing. And I think what you're talking about is how you were able to find, in essence, yourself through this practice. You were able to parlay the karate background and the black belt, which is amazing, but then push that into being into yoga. And then did that, like, then elevate you, and then you said, I need to share this with others?
Exactly. That's what happened. So, you know, it was something that, I mean, first of all, I really, you know, developed this passion around doing these practices. And then I was like, okay, I wish I could spend my time around these practices, not only like me doing it, but also being able to share it. And it's, I had this thought for years in my head, but I didn't really take an action on it until I went to, I think it was 2018, I went to Tony Robbins' UPW, you know, it's like Unleash the Power, one of his workshops.
I'm familiar
And
with it.
really, yeah, and he really, like, you know, pushes you in, you know, in that 3 days to make some decisions, you know, like, do something, at least anything. If you feel like you need to do something, just do it, you know, and don't even, you know, overthink it. And I have been thinking about this, like, for, again, a couple of years, but I came out of that workshop, you know, only 3 days workshop, and I was like, okay, I want to sign up for teacher training and become a teacher. And I was like, I don't know what would be the end result, but I just know that this seems to me the right, you know, direction. I just have that feeling that I want to do this, and why should I wait? This is the time, you know. And it's so funny because right away, it was around those days that I received an email from Yoga Works. I don't know if you guys know Yoga Works. It's like, it's a big chain of yoga studios in the United States, and they send them like, okay, we have one spot for half a scholarship for our teacher training. And I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. I applied, and within a few days, they emailed me back, and they were like, you're the lucky one. And I was like, universe is like opening the doors, you know, when you are like taking the action into the, where it's aligned with your true self. So you, honestly, universe start opening the door. And I went to that training, and right away I started, you know, reaching out to the studios around me, and I was like, okay, I want to teach. And, you know, I started teaching in Encino, California, Woodland Hills, California, different places, studios, and until the pandemic happened. And it was in March, I think, end of February 2020, that suddenly we were like, okay, it seems that everybody have to get in and no way of going to the studios. And I was so lucky that a couple of, you know, students wanted to stay with me live through Zoom. And we start, I mean, I kept my private students and taught them throughout the whole year. And that, I mean, the whole 2020 really was, I think, a game changer for a lot of people, in a way that we found out that, okay, there is this online, you know, world that we never thought that we can take advantage of it as much as that we think now. And you know, I was like more online. I got to know Balance, which now we are doing this cooperation together. And I have my own online Zoom classes. I'm like crafting a, you know, a course, 8-week course for, you know, online course that people want to join. So many things like started coming up. And I took a coach even myself online from London, like, you know, so like so many things that you think that it's not possible. Like, it just happened.
It's incredible. And your workshop, for that matter, is incredible. The partnership that's been created between Balance and what you're doing has been perfect for folks that come to your class. And I think what you were alluding to is the fact that you had done a class in London with an instructor there. This gives people the opportunity to work with you from anywhere in the world by using the Balance platform. And so, you know, tell us a little bit about your workshop and maybe what somebody would find out if they came to your class. Like, what's special about it? I know it's a fantastic class, but tell everybody about it. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that's the hope. You know, we want to give results to people, and so I called it Strong Yoga Body and Mind. And I mean, the plan is to hopefully in this July that we run this. It's going to be a mini workshop, so it's probably like 7 to 10 days workshop, not longer. But this will be a mini workshop to give the taste of honestly taking care of yourself in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then if, hopefully people like it, then they can continue with, other events. But this is for people who feel, they're busy. Probably they're working full time and they think that they don't have enough time maybe to take care of their body, their diet, their, mental health, so many other aspects of wellness basically. And I'll try to kind of squeeze and give them like, tips that, practical tips that they can do every day to get a result. And within that, 7 days, they will hopefully get into somewhere that they feel the difference, when we are doing these practices together. So they will receive an email from me every day on like what they have to do. And
in the workshop, you're doing some one-on-one online work with these folks. I think the feedback that we've gotten, and I'm sure I know that you've heard it as well because we heard it from you, is that people appreciate being able to do it on their own time or in their own location where they are, so they don't have to get to a gym, and they can stay with you no matter where they're at. So if it's a business person traveling or if it's somebody in a different state, but they really appreciate what you have to offer in your workshop, they can stay connected to you anywhere in the world, right?
Exactly. So that's the whole thing that's the beauty about online world, so I'm going to have live sessions with them plus some pre-recorded videos, which for their daily practice. But then even the live sessions would get recorded, that if someone for any reason missed that, they can still listen to the record and, just see what has happened. But yeah, for sure, if they want to, have like, if they have a special issue or like a special obstacle, a lot of it can be even mental, or like, we have a mindset part definitely in the course, in the workshop, that they can, bring it up to the live session and we talk, one-on-one exactly. And this would be something that people even learn from each other's experiences. So yes, I think that's very valuable, and they have, access to the material for a long time if they want to practice with that. And we are always looking forward to provide them with tools that they can not only use it today, but hopefully use it within 3 months, 6 months. They can use it for longer time than only the 7 days of workshop.
I love it. I love it. So let's give folks a little step-by-step into, well, one, tell folks why you're using Balance, and you can brag about the ease of use of the platform, but kind of dive into the steps. Like, what would people want to do if they wanted to connect? Let's say they see this video and they want to connect with you. Let's tell us, how do they connect? Where do they go? When's it going to be? Just let's get into the guts of how they can connect with your workshop.
Sure. So the reason I chose Balance, first of all, I always want to cooperate with, people, individuals, or institutions which are aligned with my goals. And my whole mission of doing yoga is really promoting wellness in the world, and that's the whole reason behind it. And when I got to know Balance and the people who are running Balance, I really felt that we are aligned and we are, working toward that same goal of promoting wellness. And that was one of the reasons that I felt like more, close, like, in my heart, that, okay, I want to work with them and I want to work with Balance. And that's something that, it's really not about like, I know that, definitely everybody loves like, great outfit or things like that, but it's really about yoga and, finding that alignment between mind and body, rather than, a lot of other things that these days we see that brands are going into it.
Sure.
So yeah, and that was one of the reasons. And yes, so we are doing this workshop together with Balance as a cooperation, and people can sign up through, balancewithus.com. So, and we are putting this video anyhow.
Yeah, we'll put it down below during the video. So yeah.
Yeah, then they can either find, they can definitely, write down in social media here. They can find me also, again, through my social media here, because you have my name. But if any questions, we will definitely put more on, balancewithus.com. And if you want, you can also go and sign up, through Balance. They have the newsletter, because we are going to email, the details of the workshop through the emails. So if you guys go and sign up, then you will get notified of, the workshops and the changes and what's, basically the events are coming. So I would say that would be the best route, but also through social media.
No, that's fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with folks, if I can, so they can kind of see what the website looks like and continue to talk to you. But you know, folks can go directly to your basically page on this wellness page and on the Balance website, and they can connect with you directly. You can chat with them. They can send you direct messages. There's a number of different things that you can do, and ultimately they can certainly sign up for your class. So going back to like just chatting with you and I, you know, I want to kind of wrap up this, and I know there's going to be a part two. We're going to talk a little bit more about the specifics about your workouts and your workshops. But when people want to stay connected with you, obviously you're recommending Balance. You have a YouTube channel. You have some other things like this. And so if you're an instructor and you see this, Balance is a marketing tool for your business. So our idea is that we're going to share your content worldwide. We're going to promote your content. We're going to have one-on-one interviews like this. And Elna has been gracious enough to kind of help us through this journey. And so she's been quite the ambassador for Balance. But I got to tell you, from what I've seen so far and watching some of the work that she's done, her classes are amazing, and she has a real connection with her students. I want to kind of leave you with some final thoughts here, Elnaz. Kind of share with folks what you want to leave them with, and then we'll kind of close this thing down.
Sure. And I mean, I would say, like, you know, practicing, just staying with, you know, touching base with body and breath. That's the most important thing that we can do to savor the moments of our lives. Because you might have heard about, you know, mindfulness, and mindfulness is nothing but honestly staying present with your body and breath. That's the whole thing. And through this simple technique that we can even, you know, we can practice it even 5 minutes a day, we start to, you know, release a lot of, you know, tension and stress that we're holding on all the time in our bodies. And you will see like a lot of, you know, changes in the life, mental clarity. So I would say, like, you know, simple techniques, but when done continuously, and when we create space in our lives, then we allow new, you know, creative new ideas, new energy coming to the life. So just that. And I hope that we definitely get the chance to do more of these, but and you know, again, maybe in another interview we will be able to introduce 1 or 2 simple breathing techniques or things that people can incorporate in their lives and daily lives. But I guess for now, I just want you to stay with your body and breath wherever you can.
Well, be on the lookout for part 2, because we're going to definitely work into a little mini workshop through that class. I got to tell you, just this few minutes and chatting with you, I already feel a little bit calmer. You're already making me think about the way I'm breathing. So I can only imagine what your workshop is like. So it looks like I might be signing up for that as well. Hey, thanks so much for your time this evening. I really appreciate it. And then from all of us at Balance, please stay healthy, stay happy, and keep giving out love. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.